Alright, Temur Vannifar. So this deck is very similar to red-green Rhythm that we've played a bunch of different iterations of with a bit of a twist. So in addition to having like the core good red-green cards along with Rhythm and Llanowar Elves and Growth Chamber Guardian, we have a blue splash for Prime Speaker Vannifar, which gives us a little bit of a toolbox, which in Magic, when we refer to a toolbox, we refer to a card that lets you search for specific tools to solve different problems that you have. So this deck, different tools that we have include Gruul Spellbreaker to stop Settle the Wreckage, Kraul Harpooner to fight flying creatures, Sunder Shaman to destroy artifacts and enchantments, Exclusion Mage to bounce annoying creatures to the opponent's hand, stuff like that. So at the core, we are like a monsters mid-range / aggro deck that is able to provide a reasonable beatdown even when we don't have Vannifar. So the goal of decks like this, in my experience, building and playing Magic, is that you want to try and build the deck so it's absurd when you have Vannifar in play, but it's also just still reasonable when you don't have that card or it dies. Hey, OTT-O-Matic, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. How much on average would you have to spend to have multiple decks in standard like myself? Well, I have actual everything, basically. So I have a pretty full collection. To have actual everything in Magic Arena, it's somewhere between $200 and $250 per set. Probably about $200 with wild cards. To just have a robust collection with like, you know, half a dozen different decks, it's much less than that. Sand just doesn't have a second land in it, so it's just not good enough. The Sand's very good. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that there. I definitely want a blue source. With duplicate protection in, it cost about $200 to get a mostly full set from the latest set. You go to my website here and click standard decks, you'll see mono blue tempo up there. It's like Abzan from the opponent. We're gonna go ahead and play. I do have to play this Rootbound Crag as opposed to the breeding pool here because I need red on turn 3 to play this Phoenix out. Kinda sad that I kept the breeding pool and then drew a Hinterland Harbor. If you're just buying some packs to start, I definitely recommend buying packs in the last 2 Ravnica sets to start. Guilds and Allegiance, because these sets have the dual lands in them that are desirable. And the other thing to remember too is, like, once you put a little bit of money in, getting additional decks becomes cheaper because you just incidentally have cards from other decks from opening booster packs. So like the more packs you open, the more decks you incidentally have cards from. So like your second deck costs less than the first deck, costs less, third costs less, etc. You don't play Jaya in the Steamkin deck because generally speaking, you want to kill them before you get to that much mana. Wow. Jeez, can somebody go make a thread talking about the Shuffler? Obviously, it's not random. Listen, chat, if there's one thing you take away from my stream, this is very important. Clumps are random by definition. It's a very human instinct to think that random means uniformly distributed. But trust me when I say those things are very, very different. All right, we're going to move along with our lives. Onward, onward, upward, backward, forward. And thankfully, we're sitting here playing best of 3. So, like, that game where I flooded there isn't deciding my entire match. It's just deciding that one game. So, definitely want my Vivian Reeds against their Angels. Not sure if I want the Collision Colossuses or not. I'm not 100% sure how big their deck is. It's possible I want Lava Coil because we did see Explore Creatures, which could imply that they have Wild Growth Walker. I got your back, Chris. All right, so these other mid-range matchups where are a place where I think Rhythm of the Wild tends to be a little bit lackluster. I like Rhythm against both aggressive decks and control decks, because against control it makes your stuff not be countered, and against aggro decks it makes your stuff a little bit bigger, but against other mid-range decks it tends to have a little bit of diminishing returns in my experience. What else? What else do I want to get rid of here? Maybe these Incubation Druids can just go. I guess I'm boarding in more top end, though. There's a pretty low chance. I guess they could have settled the records. They're a white mid-range deck. I'm gonna try Carnage Tyrant. Let's go. Hey, G Miller. Thank you for the 14-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Thorius with the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Is it on record that a new format comes out this year? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was mentioned in one of the December 6th related announcements. There was something they referred to as Standard Plus coming at the end of the year. It's really unfortunate that we don't have an untapped green source here on 1, because if I had untapped green on 1, we'd have Elf into Rejuvenator, which would just be excellent. But turn 2 Elf is what we'll have to settle for. Alright, so I think I just Prime Speaker. Might as well use my resources efficiently here. And then next turn we can go Elvish Rejuvenator, Vannifar, Elvish Rejuvenator into a Phoenix, potentially. I mean, it makes sense that they're going to have the new format out this fall because people are going to need something to do that's meaningful with their cards that are going to rotate out. So without a new set, they won't have anything to, a new format, they won't have anything to do with them on Arena, which is a pretty big deal. History of Benalia is a great hit here for us. All right, so I'm going to Rejuvenator, then probably turn this into a bird. So even though this prompt offers us the ability to put it into play untapped, it comes into play tapped guaranteed. So if I paid 2 for this, it would still come into play tapped. Just for reference. Let's upgrade this. Upgrade. I love the goo animation that drips down the sides here while you're potting. It's so great. What's going on, Tanuki? And Rekindling, this was the reason why we decided to go Temur with the Prime Speaker build here. This card with Prime Speaker is just so incredibly powerful. You just get to get it back again, again, and again every single turn. Yes, you can sack the Phoenix and then it comes back. So what 5 do I want to get here? I drew the Skarrgan Hellkite, which means that I don't have another great thing to get here. I guess I get Siege Gang Commander. Siege Gang Commander's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with Rekindling Phoenix. And then we're going to go ahead and Prime Speaker the Phoenix up into Siege Gang Commander. And then I think I'm going to play the Hellkite as a blocker. Nah, that's not true. I'm going to go ahead and play the Ravager out. Yeah, I'm going to play this Wurm out. I'm gonna go ahead and make it bigger and then have it fight. I think I just don't care about these. I think I'd rather take their extra mana dork off the table. Because, like, these are attacking as 4/3 next turn, but I get to eat one of those in combat, and I can, like, chump one of the other ones. Keep up the great content. Use these bits to play the Black White Angels again. Thank you very much, Terabyte Chris. I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure that should put Black White Angels back in tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for the support. Wow, that... Huh. Alright. I don't know what I was expecting there, but like, I mean, is that even that bad for us? Like what? We traded, they like kill, it was like a 3-for-3, right? Like they killed both their History of Benalias. Like I'm shocked. I'm not upset. It's just like, was that even good for them? Like that exchange doesn't seem fantastic from their side of the table. Like, I'm ahead right now. Harpooner, Growth Chamber Guardian with Rhythm is also a combo because the counters you get from Rioting lets you get more Growth Chamber Guardians, which is great. Sure, I can use that mana.
I've seen worse.
I don't know why they didn't attack. Oh, they probably wanted to gain extra health and they just assume I'd jump block. You did get a new bit badge. I like that it pops it up in chat now. That's sweet. Does it let you attach a message to the Get New Bit Badge Terabyte, Chris? If so, that's a good upgrade. So I get to do this. I get to do this. They are very good, Persip. You are not wrong. We floated really high after the front page this morning. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way. Let's go ahead and make this Llanowar Elf a 2/2. It's just like, with the rhythm in play, this is just a 3/3 for 2 that, like, gets another 3/3 for 2. That's a little bit awkward. Hey, Struminator, 2/2 mana dorks for what are fair. I agree. So I'm gonna jam this and go get the last one. Am I? They're at 20. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the last one. Magic's always been a popular and awesome game. It's just finally getting some of the recognition here on Twitch thanks to the awesome Arena client. John Azuja, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and offer this trade here. Might as well. Getting to double riot this card is so busted. They're like, well, I have this giant haste dragon, and it has an activated ability. Growth Chamber Guardian is one of my picks for one of the best cards in the set. Growth Chamber Guardian, Rhythm of the Wild, Theater of Horrors, those are some of my favorites in the set for sure. No, I don't think so. I think their health total with them being at 20, like hitting them for 8 just like wasn't super meaningful. More employment monies. Thank you, the J-Rock. I appreciate that. If there's a deck in the queue you'd like to see a little bit sooner, be sure to let me know. The people who cheer bits here always get to help pick what we do. So I'm actually going to give this one haste, so that way I can, Oh, I missed lethal. Did I? No, not yet. Okay, close. We're close. We almost missed lethal. So this can kill this, and then I can Kraul Harpooner for 10. Got it. Got it. I almost forgot this had an activated ability. I talked about its activated ability, and then I almost forgot. Hey, what's going on, Aethervile? Thanks for the compliment. All right. Charge. The old good clean get you. Good clean 20 ball. Bant Defenders would be fun. Definitely the J-Rock. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like looking at their deck more and thinking about the cards that they played, I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded here. Yeah, the straight green-red rhythm decks, we've been playing 2 to 3 Harpooners in the main just because of that interaction. This build with Vannifar, we had to trim down to just 1 so we could fit in other sweet utility creatures, but in general, this card's very good with rhythm. Is Pod Lady core to this deck, or are we just an inferior green-red rhythm deck? I think there's probably a chance that this deck is just a little bit cute version of green-red rhythm, but it's got some utility that can get it out of spots that the normal green-red rhythm wouldn't get out of, and this deck does also gain negates out of the sideboard, which is meaningful in certain spots. Aethervile. It's the only... Marginal tax rates are understood about as much as statistics. Yeah, you can run Arena using wine on OSX as well. This start is absurd here. So I went Elf into Rejuvenator, and next turn we're gonna go Rhythm of the Wild into Growth Chamber Guardian, then the following turn we can Skarrgan Hellkite double riot. Riot stacks, by the way, for those of you who are new. So the more rhythms you have in play, the more 1/1 counters you get. Hey, EMW, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Or triple haste. Yep. Easy attack here. Like, do you want to trade your 2/1 for my 1/1? Probably not, so I get a free point of damage. Excellence binding. Okay. Oh, that's a really good answer to that. Okay. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I thought for sure they were going to take my rhythm, but that makes a lot of sense. Glad to move some builds around to stop being just a lurker. I've really enjoyed seeing you evolve. Thanks, EMW. I appreciate that. I think I just do this and double Riot. How does Squee work in this deck? So Squee is a 3-drop that you can just keep playing over and over again after you Vannifar it away. Also, Squee's kind of cute with Rhythm of the Wild. Man, if they don't have like a cast down or a trophy here, this Hellkite's about to destroy them. Put this towards some Bant Flash. Will do. Thank you, Navier. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I actually want to try some new things in the build of Bant Flash tomorrow, so we're definitely going to be doing that. Hey, Iceman Rob. Thanks for checking out the Harry sponsor. I appreciate that. We haven't had too many purchases since we got the on-screen alerts working. One of the ad companies I'm working with is integrating with the Twitch overlays, which is sweet. Wow! They had the cast down and must have just completely forgotten that it had an activated ability. Vivian's a crazy draw here because it's going to kill the Excellence Binding.
Would you like to see what's left? Get that out of here.
It does, in fact, Greg. Let's tack some Bant Flash onto the end of the day. Again, okay attacking here because they don't want to trade these. Although, honestly, maybe I'm supposed to leave this back because I don't really want to trade these here, and I don't want them to kill my Vivian. Yeah, I think this attack was wrong because I don't want to take this trade, and I don't want them to kill this. Now that I do Tempo Storm, do they handle some of my ads/sponsors? That's still on me. So Tempo Storm handles all of the wonderful people on the scrolling blue Tempo Storm banner below me. And then I'm still able to work with my own sponsors on top of that. I just have to get them approved with Tempo Storm to make sure I don't have conflicting sponsors, right? Like, you don't want to be, like, advertising NVIDIA and ATI or Red Bull and another energy drink or stuff like that. That's a mighty big worm. Unfortunately, this worm is not big enough to fight this, though, right? So let's start by plussing here. Are we getting to Temur counters today? Maybe.
That would break someone like you.
Unsure. Jury is out. Oh, I could attack in. That's a... Well, so the problem is, if I attack in, this'll trade with the Doom Whisper, which I really don't want it to trade, right? I don't really want to trade here. I don't know. If they attack Vivian, they're dead, right? Like, why do I need to trade? Like, I guess if they have Kaya's Wrath, it feels bad, but I have, like, a hasty Ravager if they have Kaya's Wrath. This is them, probably them digging for Wrath. Hey, JDM, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, mana math article right here. Oh. This is the Frank Kirsten Bible. Finality would be really bad. Finality would put us pretty far behind. Sure. Yep. Okay.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
So they're dead. I believe they have died. I believe the speedy worm is lethal. They block here. They take 8. Driving in my worm, beep beep. Wow, they had finality on top. Brutal. That was a good clean win. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. I play a ton of standard best of 3 here on Arena. So if you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the place for you. You're making me want to play standard watching all this. No apologies, Pete Head. Thanks for the 28 months. Welcome back. As always, a big shout out to Pete Head and all my other wonderful subs. They are quite literally the folks that keep me employed here full time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past my subs, my other wonderful sponsors are folks like the NRG Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. They do standard, modern, and legacy. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage every single month at twitch.tv/NRG Series. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HugoBar. You can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. BCWSupplies.com would love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards. Using code Jeff10 at BCWSupplies.com, you can save 10% on sleeves, deck boxes, binders, and all sorts of other fantastic accessories with them. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone to Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you all choosing to spend part of your Monday here with us. Hope everyone had a great weekend, is having a great start to your week. We're playing some more Temur Pod or Temur Vannifar, if you would. So we are heading on into our next match here. This Temur Vannifar deck, if you think it is sweet, this is one of the many awesome standard decks that you can find on my website, jeffhoagland.com. I freshly updated that yesterday, so you can be sure to know that all those decks are current with the latest expansion releasing. This hand needs a blue source desperately, but it's very good otherwise. What's going on, DNN? That is an individual named Dan Bopes who manages MTG Bot. Perfect. Well, this is like the dream curve, right? It's like Elf, Rhythm, Prime Speaker, let's go. Let's go. Do. Oh no, what if they have a counter spell up, chat? Oh no, they're taking my spell. They don't keep up with Paper Magic. How far behind is MTGA to Paper? Or is it on spot? MTGA actually releases before Paper. So this latest expansion that just released on Magic Arena doesn't release officially for competitive Paper play until this Friday. No, not really a Commander player myself. So now I Prime Speaker, and I'm gonna turn this Elf into a Friendo. Yes. And I think I'm going to take this and turn it into Zoidberg here, because Zoidberg finds more Zoidberg. So even if they do have a way to interact with my Prime Speaker, I've generated a good amount of value out of it here. This deck is sweet. Good clean live-in. I am missing a red source for this dragon, but we'll find that at some point. And like, if they don't kill Prime Speaker here, she's going to get to turn this Growth Chamber Guardian into a 3-drop. Yeah, right, File? Oh, no. I don't need double blue ever, so I'm just discard the Breeding Pool as opposed to some tap land. Second Rhythm of the Wild. Huh. So let's play this. Get a 1/1 counter. Go get another one. Hey, Rysovic, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a good Monday. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Play another one of these. Go get the last one. And then we'll Vannifar one of these up into something else. Hopefully, actually, we probably go get the elf that gets us a land, right? So we can find a red source to play this. I could also get Squee, though. Do I get Rejuvenator or do I get Squee? I think I get Rejuvenator this turn. So that way it can find a red source, hopefully, to play Hellkite next turn. Look at that. Just like we drew it up, chat. So Vannifar has to go up by 1. So I can't turn a 2 into another 2. So next turn we have an uncounterable Hellkite with double Riot. And we have this Rejuvenator turning into a Phoenix, what's going to have haste. And my opponent's playing Grixis control, which means their only sweeper is Ritualista, which is not going to kill Vannifar. Oh no! Please don't make me discard a magic card, opponent! Oh no! Come on! Come at me, Bolas! Are you scared? Are you scared, Bolas? Yeah, this card. Actually, let's get Sunder Shaman and give him haste. Beep, beep. Seatbelts, everyone. Dunk, 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 dunk. Boop. Boop it. Boop the map on the nose. That. Oh, this deck is wonderful. Bye-bye, treasure map. Oh, that was delicious. That was, all right, extra Carnage Tyrants, please. Vivian, please. I think I want Rex Sage for their treasure maps. Exclusion Mage seems pretty bad here. At least one Ravager Wurm is gonna go. Why do you do this? Now I have to spend money on Arena. Yeah. Yeah, this deck's wonderful. It's wonderful. Spellbreaker is not fantastic here because they're not a Settle the Wreckage deck. Is Vannifar a meme or competitively viable? Why not both? Why not both? Is this a collision matchup? It's probably at least a couple collision matchup. I don't know what I want to cut though. I'm like struggling to find all my trims. Yeah, Zerum, we've retained a lot of people, and thanks to everybody who checked out the stream for the first time on the front page and decided to stick through. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. All right, let's get rid of the last worm. Let's cut a Rejuvenator. I could trim Dorks. Do I just cut the Growth Chamber Guardians? Nah, they generate such good card advantage. Yeah, maybe it's just trimming the Incubation Druids. Now I'm going to cut the Harpooner and leave one in. Yeah, it's hard to tutor this up anyways. And I'm bringing in Vivian and other ways to interact, so let's do this. Why Siege Gang over Ooze? Because Siege Gang leaves behind more bodies, and it acts as a removal spell if you need it to. It's a little bit of reach. This hand needs some red mana, but any hand that like has lands and spells I tend to keep, especially against a deck that's playing Thought Erasure. It's a good pickup. Hopefully we just draw lands for like the next 4 turns now. Hit like some red sources and curve like rhythm into Rekindling. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Poor little Growth Chamber. He never had a chance. Just like we drew it up, folks. Ding. best control deck so far. It's probably just Jeskai control from last season. We played a little bit of Esper, and I just wasn't impressed. Listen, nothing but professionalism on this stream, okay? This Magic game's really easy. Jeskai struggles against Golgari. That's not strictly true. One of the things that's really great about this format is that there's lots of different ways to build all of the good decks. If you watch my stream, will you learn to top deck like this? 100%. Easy game. Dunk, dunk. What is in their hand? Is their hand just like a bunch of 4 and 5 mana spells? Yeah, I agree, Voriel. Glad they kept Stoneforge where she belongs. Rhythm is so good. Enjoy your discard spell. You got my Carnage Tyrant. Does that make you feel good? Do you feel good about your self-control, opponent? Do you feel the rhythm? The rhythm coming on? Why do you prefer Sunder Shaman over Rex Sage? So I have a Sunder Shaman in the main and I have a Rex Sage in the sideboard because Sunder Shaman is a better main deck card because it is a bigger body when the rest of its text isn't relevant. Oh, they were just missing a color. They were missing a color. That's what it was. Got it. How does blue-black hope to deal with Carnage Tyrant? Usually they have to block it or get your board clear and then use a sacrifice effect. I am currently standing. I have a desk with motors in the legs, so I split my time about 2/3 standing, 1/3 sitting. At the ripe old age of 28, my body is much happier standing than sitting for 8 hours. Or more. Today's probably going to be a longer than 8-hour stream. I really like the new set. The new set feels like all the things that were playable last season are still playable, and we mixed in some other new stuff just by adding more mana. I did not get a new desk yet, Serum. I'm planning to pick up a new desk once we finish off my new studio room. I'm just gonna give this haste. They are black-white, so could imply control, so getting damage down against control fast is good. I stand on a mat. You have an anti-fatigue mat. That's very helpful. This is the sound of my people. When you sacrifice the Phoenix to Vannifar, does it come back? Yeah, if the egg lives. The Phoenix always makes the egg regardless of how it dies, unless it's exiled. Is there a reason to play Demanding Dragon over Hellkite? I don't think so. Ooh, hero. Interesting. I wonder if they're playing a Mardu deck. I think I'm just gonna make this bigger. Should probably waited to play this post-combat instead of giving away that information. How much more time do we have on pod? 45 minutes or so? Yep. The opponent's gone very wide. Alright, Growth Chamber Guardian is our go wide card. So I get to do this, and suddenly we're gonna have a bunch of 3/3s. How did Jund perform? It was a little bit underwhelming. I try to build without the Explore package, and should probably just have the Explore package. Squadron Crabs, go! Squadron Crabs, go! If you paste the deck list into a text editor, you can delete the one line that it doesn't like. I'll have to let the Stream Decker person know later tonight that their export's messed up. Watch out for the 4-mana Wrath. I mean, if they Wrath us, like, they don't have a whole lot left over either. We don't reasonably have enough red to support a Chain Whirler, but we could play it anyways. Just hope to pot into it. That's pretty good, except I have a bunch of 3/3s. If you go to the Stream Decker site, it's fine. That's weird. That's an interesting bug. I'm playing with your Black-White Angel. I'm really liking it. I was thinking about it playing Danto Vanguard with Knight of Malice. I think Knight of Malice is much better against aggro decks, so if you're playing on the aggro-heavy ladder, that's a good change. I think a Danto Vanguard is much better against control, and the Angels deck tends to struggle with control a lot more than it struggles with aggro. So, I would rather hedge and have it be better against control than aggro, and a diverse field. There's really no reason to attack with these. They'll just double block with 2/2s and trade 2/2s for my 3/3s. I chose haste on this one because I don't really have anything to do with my mana, so I might as well pay 3 next turn and make it a 4/4. Because if I put a counter on this it's not going to be able to adapt. So like, I get to spend my extra mana this turn making it bigger. Alright, Squee, you've got one job. Just keep swinging, swinging, swinging. Just keep swinging. Doot, doot, doot. Squee's never gonna give you up, chat. Never gonna run around or desert you. Never gonna squee, never gonna squeeze you up. Squee dances to the rhythms, chat. Oh no, they found a 4th land. How will we ever win now? Alright, so I'm gonna attack with these two because this one can become a 4/4, which means if they want to trade with it, they have to give me a 3/3 or both their 2/2s. This is an application called Magic the Gathering Arena. So I allow people to donate money to cut other decks in front of other ones in the queue if they donate a large amount. So the Bant Defenders deck's gonna get pushed back to tomorrow because we had a few people donate extra to see something sooner. I guess I could attack with the 4/3 Can I donate money to remove all the decks in the queue? Sure, let's say like 100 grand. I'm not gonna tell you no because there's a number, but like it's a really big number. Squee's doing his best, but oh yeah. There she is. There she is. Do you have a removal spell, opponent? 'Cause if you don't, there's Miguel. One hasty bird, please. Squee turns into a bird every turn. Sounds good, K-pop. Yeah, it should be up tomorrow afternoon sometime. We've had like the set of games we've had with this deck today have been really, really good. Just a lot of the sweet interactions that we like drew it up feel great. I didn't attack with Squee first because the Phoenix came in with haste. What's going on, Delta? One angry dragon, please, with haste and a 1/1 counter, cause rhythm. Allow me to show you the dance of my people. More for Bant Defenders. Thank you, J-Rock. I appreciate it. Driving in my dragon, beep, beep. Rude. Yeah, riot stacks. Squee is about to spike in price. Thankfully, he still just costs 1 rare wild card. Yeah, they definitely should have waited. I was definitely going to activate this again, and they could have gotten me. This is the we're dead on board, screw it, attack with everything. Good night, friends. It could have been Kaya's Wrath, that's true. I think my opponent's hand was likely, so they had Integrity Intervention, so I think there's a good chance my opponent had a bunch of red cards in their hand that they didn't have mana to cast. I don't even know what I want to sideboard here, really. I feel like our main deck feels pretty reasonable. I guess the Lava Coils are decent. The Lava Coils are probably good. What do we want to trim? Sunder Shaman doesn't ever hit them. It doesn't really have things to destroy. Harpooner doesn't kill much. Exclusion Mage bouncing tokens is kind of cute, but probably not needed. Do I expect them to have... This card, like, can't attack through on the ground, then I don't really expect them to have Settle the Wreckage, I don't think. This seems reasonable. Coils for Angels. Yeah, that's true. They probably have Seraph. I don't know. I don't know if I expect, like, their Aristocrat style deck to have Lyra out of the sideboard. Maybe I just, like, keep a Exclusion Mage as a hedge. Hey, Failed Dice, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate it. Anyone seen or made the Aristocrats? We played Mardu aggro on stream. That's up on my website now. That was very similar to an Aristocrat style deck. How's this deck doing? The set of games we played today with this deck has been A+. This hand's not super aggressive, but it has Lava Coil into Rhythms. Let's keep it. Perfect. So if we get a 4th land by 4, we can just like go 2, 3, 4. And then like 5, 6, hopefully. We're like Jund at the moment. We played Jund for the first time this afternoon, a mid-range deck, and the build we had definitely wasn't great. But that doesn't mean there's not a good Jund deck hiding out there somewhere. 4 Vannifar a must? Nah, at least 3 is fine. I don't know, he's really good though. You probably want 4. How much is it to send in a deck? For my subscribers, it is $10 to send in a deck. You can find out all the details about how my deck queue system works on my website here. It explains how the points in the deck queue work and like when your deck gets played and all that jazz. So because I drew this, I'm actually going to go Rejuvenator into Llanowar Elves. This is like 2/2s. Is there a game tracker we're able to use MTGA? Yeah, I believe there is a tracker tool. Don't ask me where to download it from offhand because I don't have an answer to that. All right, like, are we attacking with Tajik here? I'm just trading these off. I'm taking 4 on this combat, and they're gonna get an extra token left over. I'd really like to draw an untapped land so I can play Carnage Tyrant here, just as like a big blocker that they have a hard time getting through. Other Rhythm, awkward. This is definitely a matchup where I want my 4 Lava Coils, that's for sure. I mean, they don't have red mana in play, so it's not like they can really wait and give it first strike later. Jund successful as Gruul with a splash for Fine Fidelity. Yeah, that's definitely a direction you could take it. Have we tried Sultai? We did try Sultai, and I was really underwhelmed by the build that we tried. So you can find the Sultai list we played on my website, along with video of it. My YouTube channel, all that jazz. Alright, so I'm going to 4 here on this combat step, which probably means I'm dead. Can you put this towards the Carnage Niv build around? Yes, definitely to Paris. Thank you for the biddies. Any bits you cheer or dollars you donate, there's a deck queue that's public on my site. You're always welcome to apply those to various decks on there. Down to 2, yep. Okay, worth noting that this token does not deal a damage to me when it dies, because Judith explicitly says non-tokens. That's a good one. That'll do, pig. Dunk, 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 dunk. Your comment was perfectly timed there, Panza. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Seen a little bit better. Need to be a little bit better on the play. All right, let's go into a land. You think Standard gets more views only because of Moto being outdated, or do you think Modern has fallen out of popularity? Can I just answer your question with a yes? I think it's both that Modern is less popular and that Magic Online is not very popular. I think both of those things contribute. Yikes. If we hit the second land on 2 there, we would have been in a very good spot, but now we might struggle a little bit. Dominkin in the queue to get played tomorrow. I don't know what you're asking me, Burn Player. Not sure I follow your question. The sub to viewer ratio is slightly worse. You're not wrong. That's okay. I'll take it. I think there's a very strong market for Modern. Any form of the interface doesn't lead to good TV rating. Honestly, all things considered, I think this standard format would be with all things equal. I think this standard format would be much more popular than Modern. I don't think the discrepancy would be as large as it is right now, but I do think it would still exist. Well, hopefully we hit a red source so we can rhythm to get this prime speaker going. All right, Rejuvenator is actually a pretty good draw because it means that we can find red for next turn and pot up into something bigger here. So, like, here's the thing. Other people talked about Ooze making Vannifar survive through Lava Coil. If you're Vannifaring into the Ooze, it's probably already survived. If they have heroic reinforcements, we are super dead. I think the popular formats depends on geographical area. I'm from Ohio. A couple weeks ago, we had 300. Sure, Jumpstart. Also, like, this is a new standard format. Like, yes, things are geographical, and you're right that there's a lot of factors that go into it. So, I think I just put down double Siege Gang here, right? So I'm going to attack with this. I'm going to cast this Siege Gang out of my hand. And then I'm going to Vannifar this into another Siege Gang. Or do I want to turn this into a... No, I think I want to... I could turn this into a Wurm and fight the hero. That could go either way. I could also see myself just getting a dragon here to start shooting things down, but, like, I have other things to do with my mana. All right, so now I'm gonna go get the dragon because now the dragon will be on defense. It'll shoot hero, and I'll have lethal in the air next turn. All right, let's actually not use those. Let's use these 2 pieces of mana. So I believe with this activation, I shouldn't even be dead to heroic reinforcements here. Yeah, modern was popular because standard was garbage. I agree with that. Magic's a great game, and when standard was bad for a couple of years there, people went searching for the next cheapest constructed Magic format, and the answer was modern. But modern's gotten worse, and standard's awesome now, so like a lot of that desire has left. Yeah, this hand's great. Woof! Wow, we get to go Druid into Rhythm into Phoenix into Growth Chamber Guardians, like. Next cheapest and supported Rabid Wallaby. So Pauper is basically non-existent as far as support goes in most places. There aren't Pauper Opens, there aren't Pauper Grand Prix, etc. Pauper Magic Fest, whatever we're calling it these days. My reasoning for Goblins over Ooze is because they're better against these go-wide creature decks. There's a Pauper PTQ coming up. There's not an entire Pauper Magic Fest. Unless I misunderstood. Supreme with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Why do I think Modern's gotten worse? Because since they banned Splinter Twin and other key cards in the format, as new cards have been printed and nothing's been banned or removed, Modern just gets increasingly more linear and less interactive. You get increasingly rewarded for playing cards that just try and be aggressive and do nothing else. Speaking of aggressive, this is a really aggressive attack. Alright, so... if I play Rhythm, I can go Rhythm into Growth Chamber Guardian as a 3/3. That seems reasonable. Play a tap land. So if I can, like, not get heroic reinforcements next turn, we should be in a good spot, because I'm going to have to put a bunch of 3/3s into play. Will MTGA's non-rotating format eventually become another Modern then? If they don't put bans in place at certain points, yeah. As more and more cards get printed into a given format, more and more combos start to exist. Because they're, you know, when there's 2 decades worth of cards, combos pop up that they never tested for, etc. And that's not a bug, that's just like how it works. So if you don't manage them with a banned list, it just gets more and more degenerate. Incubation Druid's very good, but all the adapt cards are pretty reasonable in my experience. I like them a lot. So I can play this as a 3/3, and then I can play Rekindling Phoenix out here as a 5/4 on defense. Sounds good. What do you think about KCI getting banned? Isn't that what happened to Extended? No, Extended was a rotating format. Extended was like double standard towards the end. Temur counters got pushed out by other people that donated to bump decks into today. Sure. So Temur counters will get pushed back into tomorrow. I actually never played Extended, so I don't really have an opinion on it. We're trying to put ourselves into a position where we can not die to heroic reinforcements, basically. Does Quasi-Duplicate overcomplicate the deck? Quasi-Duplicate's just not a good card on its own. And generally speaking, you want your card quality to be reasonably high. Them killing off our 3/3s as opposed to attacking our dome here with these is really good for me. How's Warhammer Champions going? Haven't played much recently. Christy and I moved, and then I've been streaming a lot with the new set release. Just infinite hype surrounding Magic right now. What if I adapt this? If I adapt this... Hey, Niv, thanks for 350. I'll read that in a second. So if I adapt this, I'll have 3, 4, 5 mana. Yeah, so let's do this, and then I can play Squee plus play Growth Chamber. If your opponent does not concede once all their permanents are gone, you can win with Thought of Hope, I guess. Sounds good, Div. Thanks for the support. I hit decline there because I've gotten all of the Growth Chamber Guardians out of my deck at this point. So, actually, I probably want to kill their Goblin token just in case they have Siege Gang. So I take 6 down to 6 here. The next big standard event is this weekend. There's an SCG Open in Indianapolis. Mana base is good enough right now for 3-color aggro. Yep. You can find a Mardu aggro list on my website. Not too dissimilar from what the opponent's playing, actually. Thanks, get in. So if I attack with this and they play another Heroic Reinforcements next turn, they hit me for 3 more, so I probably don't want to do that. Let's just hang tight for a second. So I saw someone commenting in chat that my opponent's deck has a lot of tokens for being a Judith deck, and I think playing tokens alongside Judith is perfectly fine. Your cards don't have to synergize with every line of text on a card to be good. And like, Judith also, in addition to saying non-token, she also just gives all your creatures +1 power. So like, Judith is fine in a deck with tokens. Yeah, I do need to start killing them so we don't get burned out for sure. I just wanted to be a touch conservative while I was getting set up. Yes, I agree with that. Judith is comparable to the triple white lord without the heavy color requirements. Fully agree. Wait, what am I doing with this? How this has to be lethal, right? How is it lethal? What the what did I just do? Oh, well, that was a mistake. I don't fully know what just happened there. I clicked the adapt button. Did I click the adapt button? I believe I would click the adapt button. I clicked the adapt button. Sorry, it's been a long day. If I turn one of these into a dragon, what does it do? Yeah, Dragon kills Judith, which should mean I don't die inside of combat this turn. Dragon go. It's fine. I'm not sure if we might have had lethal there if I hadn't messed that up, but I think we should still be fine to win here. Sure. Oh my gosh, I just clicked through that and it makes her bigger. That's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Yeah, they're very dead. It's okay. They're very dead. They're very dead. Alright. Lava coils, please. Mage out. Harpooner out. Sunder Shaman out. Carnage Tyrant out. Sounds good. Had some slops in there, but thankfully our deck is great and it didn't matter. Thankfully it was great and it didn't matter. It was just BM, yep. Scavenger to gain some life might be okay. How long have we been on this deck? I need to be better about rating it down. We've been on it for a little bit. I think we're gonna play one more match after this one. I don't know. If we run long on this deck, I'm not sad about it. We're gonna do green, red elves and Bant Flash before I'm done today. I'm gonna run late. Normally I finish up about this time during the week. We've got an awesome amount of people here from being on the front page, so we're gonna keep it on. Remember, if you enjoy the content, you are new to follow the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm here doing standard best of 3 on Magic Arena basically every afternoon during the week, Monday through Friday. I usually get to Magic Arena about 10 or 11 a.m. every morning, and then I play through till 4 or 5. Zait, thank you very much for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. All right, if we're lucky, we'll draw Breeding Pool on one here. Yikes. My poor elf. Deploy the Krabby Patty. I mean, it's kind of hard to turn 1 Llanowar Elf in any deck that's not mono green W card. If you look at the number of turn 1 green sources we have in relation to the turn 1 green sources most decks have, it's not that different. We've not played with Biomancers familiar on stream. Although I was combing through the spoiler the other day and I was like, this card looks sweet. So here's the thing, Dr. Goldhead. If you have Pod active in the control matchup, you probably don't need extra bullets. Just like whatever you have is going to be good enough. All right, let's get on the play here, shall we? Let's get on the play. I think chat's right that Scavenger seems good here as a way to just gain some health incidentally. This hand is more than good. It's great. Aye. Oh. Elf, go. Aye. Oh. Elf, go. Do 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 do. What's a good way to start on MTGA with no card pool? Yeah, dollars are the best way to accelerate your progress for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure, Pizza H. Actually, someone cut Bant Flash in today. We're gonna try a few different things. I'm actually gonna try a couple of crabs in the main deck of the Flash deck. I think that card's likely very reasonable. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put a 1/1 counter on it, which is really sweet because it makes this thing make 3 mana right away. We're gonna put this in as a 2/2. We'll put this in tapped. And then I think I'm gonna put 2 Lyras and 2 Shalais into the sideboard of the Flash deck today to help the aggro matchup. Bant Flash is gonna be the last deck we play today, so we're gonna play one more match with this deck, and then we're gonna move on to the next one. You can find my preferred build of Mardu aggro on my website now. It's up on YouTube as well. Someone asked why I didn't block the Incubation Druid into one of their 2/1s because Judith was in play, which would allow it to deal 1 extra damage to the Incubation Druid. I was gonna cut in today too. I was gonna see if you could try at least 1 seal, 1 unsummon main deck. And what it might look like with March of Multitudes. What's going on, Bob? Alright, so let's put this one. We're putting this one into play with haste because if I put it into play as a 1/3, I can't adapt it. So by not adapting it, I turn this into a 3/5, which is nice. Or by not rioting it, I turn it into a 3/5 with adapt as opposed to a 1/3. My last name is pronounced Hoagland with a long O sound. Wonder if there should be a Chain Whirler in this deck. How much does it cost for a build-around deck for a tier 3 sub? If you want to submit it as your deck for the month, a tier 3 sub can submit a standard build-around as their deck for the month. Well, that's great. Squadron Crabs are here, chat. Zoidberg showed up. This card is so good. It's like good on its own, but it's absurd with rhythm. I can't decide on all these sweet decks. Guess the only option is to build them all. Thank you for the 28 months, Tron Dragon. Nathaniel Frisbee, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Had you considered a Danto Vanguard in the board? A Danto Vanguard's only good against control, Bob, and your control matchup with the Flash deck is pretty good. We played Esper Amulet this morning, and it was fine. It'll be up on YouTube tonight when I'm done, although we're going to be going pretty late tonight. I'm going to do at least 2 more decks after this, so not going to be done for another 3 hours or so. Alright, well, next turn we're going to start attacking with 3/3s, probably 2 to 3 of them. And like, if we draw Vannifar at any point, the game will end in the spot. Why a counter on the last one? Because I'm hoping to draw a spell to use my mana with. Yeah, we're going Growth Chamber Guardian goes wide on its own. Sad. Attack with 3 of these. So they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they'll be attacking me with 11 creatures that have 2 power each. Max plays MTG. Thank you, Max. I appreciate it. So that'd be 11 creatures, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, so I'd be taking 10. I think I'm supposed to attack with 3 of these, though, because if they draw heroic reinforcements, I'm not dead on board. And if they don't draw heroic reinforcements, they're gonna have to start chump blocking next turn. And if they have to start chump blocking, that's really good for me. So we're hoping to draw Vannifirs, and they're hoping to draw heroic reinforcements and Judith. No, I don't really play best of 1. When they add best of 3 to the ladder next month, I'll definitely be playing then. So let's tap my lands here manually so they don't tap my druids. Beep beep. Why not attack with Phoenix? Because they have Healer's Hawk to block. Haste, 1/1, 1/1. This worm's a riot, chat. Alright, so every creature I attack with almost, if this has to get blocked, these have to get blocked. They have 2 free blocks here. So they have to block at least 2 of these. So I might as well attack with this. And this. I'm gonna attack with all the 3-power dorks. Probably the Rekindling Phoenix too. Alright, figure it out. Hopefully this doesn't leave me dead to reinforcements. Settle the wreckage. Nah, I don't care. They have settle, they have settle. Blocks across the board are really good for me. They're gonna end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures left over, plus 2 more from heroic reinforcements, and I can block 2, so they'll have 6 creatures total. And I can block 2, so I'm taking 8. Hopefully their hand is just holding a bunch of lands at the moment. So they're gonna have 4, and they get to attack with 6 things that have 2 power next turn if they draw heroic reinforcements. So if they have 1 mana creature plus heroic reinforcements, I am dead. But again, I need to just like pressure them so I can actually win the game instead of giving them more time to draw what they're doing. We are not dead to heroic. I have 2 blockers. And they'd be attacking with 6 2-power things, so I'm taking 8 right now to just heroic. If they have a removal spell, I'm dead to heroic. I'm dead to shock plus heroic. Okay, we got him. They are dead. Let's play one more with this deck. I'm kind of digging what it's doing. And then I'll remember to write down when we start with the next one. Close game for sure. What should the memekin sideboard against mono red? Sheen Whirler probably, and that's about it. This deck's been really good today. I think so far this is probably my pick of the day. Although I've been doing this, I've been here for 8 hours, so they're starting to blur, so I need to go back and check out everything that we did. Did I want to add a Chain Whirler? No, I don't think so. I don't really have anything that I immediately want to cut, and we're beating up these decks full of tokens even without it. Llanowar Elves is so good. Llanowar Elves and I go way back. I'm excited to try this card ramp today. Yeah, I think you're right, Bellic, that I think if I do like 7+ decks, I should do 2 picks. That's probably a good suggestion. The breeding pool sound is such a just alright, Rejuvenator. I have a second red already. I might as well get another green. It'll just be like turn 3 Hellkite on the play. I can also do this into this on the play. They don't have another land. Alright. Honestly thought that sound came from my throat. This deck's great, Doctor. This is our second time playing it. I'm really happy with the build that we're playing. And I don't know, Big. It feels like we have game against most things. So my opponent played a Sulfur Falls and then died. So I'm going to board in Vivians because they could be Controller, they could be Drakes, and this card is good against both. Am I planning to play Modern? Not today. Tomorrow morning, the stream's going to start off with 2 Modern Leagues. So I'm going to start early. I'm probably going to be up about 7 or 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm going to do 2 Modern Leagues before I play Standard tomorrow. And then for the rest of the week, we're going to go back to doing 1 to 2 Modern Leagues, or Magic Online / Modern Leagues every single morning before I do Arena. You can find the schedule on my website approximately. I guess Spellbreaker might be good against Control. I'm going to cut Exclusion Mage. I'm going to cut Sunder Shaman. Seems fine. Bring in the Vivians. When do you bring in Angrath with Mardu aggro against control decks? Thanks, Big Daddy. It's been awesome to have so many people here all day today. Awkward. This seems like not amazing, but it's definitely a keep. And by definitely, I mean probably. Skarrgan, okay.
Who are you to call? I don't need this. I need
Nice
this.
full metal. Perfect. Alright. So do I Rejuvenator or do I Spellbreaker, crack their Skarrgan? I'm gonna Rejuvenator. Yeah, they banned KCI in Modern's Day. Sure. They could Niv us, for sure. So definitely going to want to bring in my Colossus Collisions for the 3rd game. Dragon makes sense if they want to protect their Skarrgan. They could still play Nicol Bolas this turn if he makes mana.
Look to the skies.
We're definitely not going to be in a good spot with this Nicol Bolas here. Let's just like hope they have nothing and this is good enough. Yeah, it was the only change, just KCI banned, so.
Yes.
The other deck's abusing. Yeah, it depends on what your definition of fine is. If you like dying on turn 3, Modern's fine. If you don't like dying on turn 3, Standard's great. So, you know, everybody gets some choices. Now, I think the Wurm is really good. The Wurm also lets us take an aggressive stance, and blue's kind of our splash color. Like, look at my mana here. Blue's our least represented color in the mana base, so having a blue-blue card can be difficult to cast at times. Wow, rude. How many turns in Legacy? Like, in Legacy, games are either over by the 2nd turn, or they last, like, 30 turns. There isn't really a lot of middle ground. What if I like winning on turn 1, or losing to literally any interaction? What's going on, Beetle? Pain's Privilege, thanks for the great content. Clarion, my wayward son. Thanks for the 3 months, I appreciate it.
Please run. A chase stokes the forge.
Yeah, we're definitely not in a good spot. If they have a land to flip the Nick over next turn, we're dead.
No fire.
No steal. We've not played against mono red. There's not a lot of mono red in the best of 3 queue. Huh. None of my 4s have haste. Yeah, I agree, Rapid Wallaby. Modern, I've been saying that for forever. Modern is what it is. And if you don't like Modern for what it is now, you're never gonna like it because it's not changing anytime soon. So, if they flip Nick and kill Prime Speaker, and then, like, I hit the land for the Ravager Wurm and give it haste, we might be able to, like, mow down some of these Planeswalkers. I guess I have Gruul Spellbreaker with haste next turn regardless. People who want to ban Nexus are probably playing Best of 1 because it's a different format. Varric, thanks for all the fun decks. Glad you're getting more into Standard and enjoying the new format. Well, thanks for the support, Varric. I have really been enjoying Standard. It's a good time for sure. Do you have a Dive Down in your hand? I wonder if we're going to see them Angrath the Egg token here. Do they have another Nicol Bolas? I'm not sure that Mirror Image solves any problems that we have. So. Sure. So, really need to hit a land next turn. If I hit a land, I can Ravager Wurm and kill this. Oh, they can do this and shoot my egg. This is a good line. Alright, untap land, please. Please. We've been fumbling so hard here. If we hit a land, we can get back in this game.
No fire, no steel.
Yep. A little bit too much. God, that would have been really impressive too. The new set is fantastic, and the standard format's really good too. They're great flavors that taste good together. Is that Carnage T matchup? Probably. Oh, I had a Harpooner in my deck still. Oh, that's a punt. Yep. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. For sure. Definitely want these collisions. I'm gonna cut these druids. Let's give this a go. The games today with this deck have been really good. Feels very reasonable. They always write a lot when they ban things, Bob. They always look historically speaking at what they write when they ban things. They always give us a bunch of information when they ban stuff. It's when there's no changes, no comment is what the thing is that happens. So, if you know your history, they always do that. Faithless Looting is never getting banned. Ancient Stirrings is never getting banned. Basically just doesn't happen. Those cards have been there for so long, they're just there to stay. They wanted to get rid of them, they would have been gone months ago. Can I just play this out as a 3-2? I think I do. Getting used to shuffling feels good. Thank you, Jock, for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Probe wasn't there for that long. Has Standard generally been less popular than Modern? So, for like the last 2.5 years or so, Magic Standard format before the release of Guilds of Ravnica was in an especially bad state. It was probably the worst Standard had been in the last, like, decade. And it was very unpopular, and Modern ballooned in popularity because people were leaving Standard in droves to just, like, play a format of Magic that didn't suck, basically. Just gonna go ahead and use this as a Boros Charm here while they're tapped out, since I have 2 of them. Yeah, five years is a lot less time than, like, Ancient Stirrings and Faithless Looting have been legal. Like, a significantly amount less time. And like, hey, what's going on, Orber? Thanks for the 9 months, I appreciate it. At this point, we've just been so picked apart that, like, my hand needs spells to be good, but it also needs lands to cast most of those spells. So it's just in a very, very bad spot. My hot take on Vannifar, it's cute. It's probably never gonna be tier 1. Because, like, if you have a bunch of interaction, you can pick it apart, but I think it'll be playable for people that really enjoy that style of effect. There were a lot of reasons why Magic Standard format was really bad before Guilds. A ton of reasons why. Many of which had to do with the balance of threats to answers in the format.
Begin. Madness. What madness?
What's going on, SSJ? Yeah, we're gonna keep going today too for a little bit too. I'm not gonna go too much past 4 every day, but while the hype is high, we're definitely gonna lean into it. Is interactions just spells and creatures that interact with the board? Yeah. Removal spells, stuff like that. I hate to end a deck on a low note, but time to move along to the next one. I think we've been doing this one for a little while. It does not work with MTGO, Mike Jones. One of the many reasons MTGO is basically impossible to watch for viewers. It's called Deckmaster is the overlay, and the technology that it uses to get the information from Magic Arena just isn't compatible with Magic Online, because Magic Online doesn't have any kind of output file. No, the schedule got shuffled around. Outbreak, it'll stay in there. Alright, so, Temur Vannifar. That last match was, well, the last game wasn't fantastic. The last match itself was actually pretty good, and I punted game 2 by not Vannifaring the elf into a Harpooner at the end there. I think if you're looking to play this card, this seems very reasonable. We played Sultai, and I wasn't super happy with the build. I've seen some pod lists that seem interesting, but really, I just think Vannifar's interaction with Rekindling Phoenix is just too strong to not be playing. It's a very, very good interaction. And like, these cards are just good in general. Again, the key to building good Vannifar decks in general, if you want to experiment with yourself, is you should build a deck that's cohesive and competitive without Vannifar that then goes into overdrive when you have her in play. Not to mention, Rhythm of the Wild puts this card into overdrive. I always love when people are like, nah, Hogland, you're wrong. Well, guess what? There's no magic data. All of the magic data is biased and incomplete. So you can beat on your chest and tell me data says control is fine. And I can beat on my chest and tell you that data says control isn't fine and it sucks and Modern's a linear cluster. And at the end of the day, neither of us can prove anything. So it's pointless. That's my least favorite part about ban and restricted talk, and honestly, it's what I've enjoyed about playing Modern a little bit less, is that there's less people like that come in here and just tell me I'm wrong. Because, like, there's a lot of people that love